the number 2 machine of Josh Bannister has been pulled off the edge of the circuit. We can hear it revving outside the commentary box window, and they've ripped off the front mudguard from the number 2 machine. Yeah, so the throttle sounds like it's stuck open. It won't stop at all. And yeah, the bike's ready to go, but it's not stopping Josh Bannister at all. Had to cut it off. So Josh Bannister will not be taking part in this race, it seems, for the second race of the LC40 Elite. But we've still got lots of other riders on the grid, including Mason Foster, Samuel Munson, Josh Bannister. Josh Bannister won't be taken back, but as the green flag drops, Mason Foster leads away, but Clayton Edmonds from the second row of the grid gets an absolute flyer into turn number 1 as Samuel Munson slots into second spot. So Samuel Munson could wrap up third place in the championship in this race. So if he stays where he is, he will wrap up the third place in the championship. But as they make their way around the rest of the circuit, out the commentary box window, seeing that Josh Bannister has got going again, so maybe that bike has been sorted out for this race. But back at the front, it is Clayton Edmonds, who picked up a victory already today in the AC40 Pros ahead of Samuel Munson, and then Mason Foster dropped back to 4th spot at the moment. But as I said, Josh Bannister had got going again. The bike has stopped once again, so shame there for the number 2 of Josh Bannister. Ronnie Harris is in 3rd spot behind Samuel Munson. Ronnie Harris still has a chance of stopping Munson from taking 3rd in the championship here today, and he's doing that by moving into 2nd and towards the final turn and chasing after the 146 of Clayton Edmonds. Further back, Charlie Huntingford is coming under better pressure from the 100 of Cameron Sewell into turn number 1, but Cameron still not making a move stick for the moment. So it was Edmonds from Harris, from Munson, from Foster, from the number 40, the 76 of Charlie Huntingford, and then it was Cameron Sewell.
Well, a good start there from Edmonds. As we said, that is a change. That is Munson going past Ronnie Harris. That move happening into turn 5. Good move there from Samuel Munson. That's 2 swaps of positions in 1.5 laps from those two battling over 2nd place. But it was a fantastic start by Clayton Edmonds, who has established himself a pretty handy lead already, and fighting back Ronnie Harris, threatening to do so in towards the final corner. Couldn't quite make the move, but will now have a go into turn 1 and gets by. So Clayton Edmonds in the lead. Then it is Samuel Munson now in 3rd place, with Ronnie Harris up to 2nd. Mason Foster is in 4th place. Then it is Huntingford, Sewell, Brady, Marshall, Payne. That is the lead, the order at the moment, as once again there goes Samuel Munson back past Ronnie Harris. So lots of swapping of positions between these two in the LC40 Elites. It's the early stages of the race. Plenty of laps still remaining. We can see Cameron Sewell a bit further back, battling with Charlie Huntingford. Cameron Sewell trying to get himself into the top 5. Up ahead, Clayton Edmonds is starting to build his lead. He is now around 3 seconds clear, 3.5 exactly, as the battle for 2nd ever further continues. It is Ronnie Harris who goes back past Samuel Munson, this time at turn number 1. So it seems Harris has set himself up for the straights, and Munson has set himself up for the infield, and that is how they are passing each other at the moment. So I guess it's who could take advantage of where they are slower. And once again, the number 72 of Munson goes back past at turn number 5. That's what it looks like to me, Liam. It's 2 different setups playing out here, and that is why we are seeing so many changing of positions.
I think you've called it very right there, Chris. It does seem that Samuel Munson does have a bit of a better setup for the infield section of the track. Cameron Sewell powers past Charlie Huntingford. That is a change for 5th and 6th position, but the great scrap on track right now is the battle for 2nd, as we have been talking about. And coming down the straight once again, Ronnie Harris tries to make a move around the outside of Samuel Munson this time, but Cameron Sill's on a bit of a flyer. He's caught Mason Foster in 4th position. I say he's on a flyer because he just set the fastest lap of the race at 54.981. So this is a fantastic ride by the 100 on one of the coolest looking bikes of the entire series, making a move on your vice champion in the LC40 Elite class, Mason Foster. But Clayton Edmonds has gone off. He's checked out of this race for the moment, and that victory in AC40 Pros earlier on today seems to have just given him the confidence to push on in this race. But Cameron Sill, Mason Foster's down at turn number 7. The back end just slides away as he's coming under pressure from Cameron Sill, but he gets back up on the bike and he's starting this race again. So Mason Foster just sliding out. The track seems to be becoming a little bit greasier as the race is going on, and turns 6 and 7 have been very problematic in the last couple of races, as Mason Foster has just found out, but he will drop back to 6th spot, still ahead of the 99 of Warwick Brady. And Cameron Sill, as he caught the back of Mason Foster, has dropped back a little bit by 2 seconds on that last lap compared to his fast lap of the race. But with 3.5 laps remaining, he's only 3 seconds further behind Ronnie Harris. So if he continues on the way he has been up to that stage, he might be able to catch the back of Ronnie Harris before this race is over.
Well, it would be a big ask for Cameron Sill, wouldn't it, with Ronnie Harris setting the pace that he is. Samuel Munson likewise looks very comfortable in second place. Clayton Edmonds now goes fastest out front. Definitely doesn't look like the rain is falling as bad as it once was. Cameron Sill responds with another fastest lap, but it definitely seems that it's getting a little bit more bearable out there. It was very tough conditions first thing this morning, but puddles are beginning to disappear, and I think riders are just perhaps getting a little bit too eager, thinking that there is more grip than there is, and that is seeing the incidents that we have had. But our leader Clayton Edmonds on the 146 heads up to turn 8 through the hairpin. He goes now and up towards the final corner. He's in the lead of over 3 seconds at the moment, but the main battle on track is going to be the battle for third place, which is very, very close. We haven't seen much of our leader Clayton Edmonds just because of how far in the lead he is. 4.3 seconds ahead of Samuel Munson. Ronnie Harris in third, but Ronnie Harris under very intense pressure as Cameron Sill set yet another fastest lap. They now take their way through turn number 2 and into 3. Cameron Sill has just under 2 laps to make this move. Can he make it on Ronnie Harris? He's right on his tail now, Liam, as they come through turn 5.
Don't know how fast Cameron Sill is. He's over a second quicker than anyone else on the circuit. He was 1 second quicker than Edmonds.
Second gone. Munson's down.
Munson's down. That's it. Out of turn number 3, Munson's down, but he's back up. He's dropped into 4th spot. Good spot out the commentary box window there, Chris, on Samuel Munson. So Munson's down to 4th. Cameron Sill is up into 3rd, and Ronnie Harris is now in 2nd with only a lap remaining. Your 146 of Clayton Edmonds, who is looking to pick up his 2nd race win of the day and his 1st of the season in the LC40 Elites. Only Garness and Mason Foster and Samuel Munson have won a race so far this season. Munson's only won 1, while the other 2 have picked up the rest. But this time round, Clayton Edmonds is looking to pick up his 1st victory of the season. But it's the battle for 2nd. We're going to have to keep an eye out on who can it be. Will it be Ronnie Harris? We've got Munson down again. Munson's down at turn number 3. He's picked his bike back up and he's trudging over to, out of 4th spot comes Samuel Munson, as Clayton Edmonds has only got 2 more corners to go. 2 more corners to go for the 146 of Clayton Edmonds. He is backed off ever so slightly as he's got a 6.2 second advantage, but down towards the final corner he comes through it, sees the checkered flag. Clayton Edmonds becomes a first-time winner in the LC40 Elites. Harris comes across the line 2nd, and Cameron Sill picks up his 1st podium position of the season in 3rd. And then we're going to have to see if Samuel Munson did remount, or will it be Huntingford coming across the line in 4th spot. So your winner today is Clayton Edmonds on the 146 ahead of the 66 of Ronnie Harris, and then Cameron Sewell on bike 100 rounds out the podium positions here for the LC40 Elite Race number 2. Charlie Huntingford was in 4th, Mason Foster 5th, who remounted after a crash, and then Samuel Munson comes across the line just behind Warwick Brady in 6th and 7th. So Chris, take us through the replay of this race.
Well, it was a good start there from our leaders. It was a close race, but one that was impacted by riders going down. It was a good battle for second between the number 72 of Munson and Harris. Harris appeared to have the legs down the straight. Munson, the better of the speed through the infield, and that saw them swap positions on several occasions. Eventually, when Harris couldn't get by down the start-finish straight, he did on that occasion and went back into second, but where the lap that came where he couldn't get back past, that saw our second place rider then pull the pin in Samuel Munson. The one to watch was Cameron Sewell, though, on the number 100. He made positions as riders fell, but set a pace that was over a second quicker than anyone else